I realized after I made this video that I didn't clarify something I should have at the beginning. There's a lot of people that are feeling pressure on their head, their brain, their head, and inside their brain or head that they're not used to. There's various reasons for that. It has to do with our friends and ships. It has to do with who you are and your upcoming lives. There's information here about the NSA. This is important stuff you need to know right now, especially those of you that are feeling that energy in and out of your head. The ET, there's also some different stone energy in here. It's all mixed together as it came out. Now, lots of times I'll try to put the ET stuff first, so that the people that are interested just in that, they can hear that and then go on to something else, hit the next video. But this needed to be mixed around for a reason, not just my normal, floatiness of the brain, trying to remember everything I wanted to talk about and about every little thing, which, it's just really hard to do, especially now that I'm close to leaving this damn body. So, if you would keep that in mind as you go through this, if you're feeling that pressure in your heads, this video is important, okay? All right, let's get to the start of the video. Hey there, folks. It's 1:15 p.m. Sunday, September 2nd, 2018. Turn this fan off. There's stuff going on I need to talk about briefly. You'll notice by the minutes in this video, the length of it. But it's important and it needs to be covered. A lot of you are feeling more pressure on your heads and in your head. There's two reasons for that, excuse me. One of them, it's not only, but especially for all you that have cranked up, unless you've gone arrogant, and there's not many of you, you'll find out that this is definitely the case with you. You have pressure in your head where your head's coming out like this and maybe a little bit on top, but it's definitely a full-headed sticking out of your head kind of thing. It's almost like when you felt it before, those of you that have been cranked up especially. Not everyone that's so important in this thing has been cranked up, okay? I've cranked up about 4,000 people, but a lot of them were people I just met. And I knew they had a part to play. Some of it, really important. They weren't aware, wouldn't be getting a consult, and it was important enough, some people, to help them out because they're hurting so bad. I've done groups before. Most of it was when I was first doing this stuff. But anyway, especially those of you that have gotten and paid for the DNA ICUC, it was imperative for us to get together for that to happen. You have a job. And I told you the field goes everywhere, goes through everything. I told you the field is literally just a part of me coming off. And I've also told you, more importantly, that, well, actually, come to think of it, I haven't said it much at all. I've been telling more of you that I've cranked up lately, that when I go into you and put that source energy inside you, there's no more powerful energy anywhere, period. That most everything is soul, that changes you. You started soul, but you now have animal, plant, universal, human, fey essences in you, plus other things. You now have more abilities. You now have more power. You've mutated into something new. Everyone's going to have some of that when we get out of bodies. Everyone that's not got their head up their butt. When you get out of your body, you get to the other side, you need to have some type of enrichment. I've got a ton of stuff I've killed that I've saved the energy, and it's stored. Nobody can reach it but me personally. And that's going to be going into everyone. But those of you that actually got the crank up, it's a whole different level. It's a whole different game. And most of you know that because you're feeling and it's seeing ETs running around your house. You see the Fae running in and out, but a lot of this is about the ETs and what your job's coming up. There's a reason why we came together and you spent all that money. You made a major investment. Wait till you see what the outcome of that. Wait till you see what you got out of it, what you get out of it. Number one, it's nonstop giving, but number two, right now, more importantly, this life, it's stuff that you're going to be involved with. And it's the ETs. Now, that was the one thing that's happening to you where you're feeling some pressure in the head. The other is a lot of you are being scanned and looked at, and they're literally looking at your brain, seeing if they can do anything to help you to make you stronger. Sometimes they're curious, and they want to watch the energy that I put in you, watch it grow, watch your brain grow as it's going on. But lots of times it's to see how you are, and they might come visit you, see if they can do something to help you out. This new change that's coming is very big. Very big. The only thing that can come close to matching what's happening right now and this new age that we're coming into, and it is not new age. It is a new age, not the new age, which is compared to this, it's a joke. It's a thought process. It's not a joke. It's a thought process of people trying to understand, and they know they're growing. They know all the stuff we've had as lies. They're doing everything they can to put stuff together. But the bad joke is that you've never been allowed to see stuff for yourself. We're changing that now. Now you have these abilities, and those of you that are in the forefront and a definite must for what's going to happen, you've been cranked up. Those that I missed, I'll take care of once I'm out of this body. But you're all coming right along. You're going to get the attention from the ETs. It's time for you to go to work. One of our friends, Jonathan Rich, he and I and Deanna were talking a little bit. I can't hardly talk to anyone, but it was important to talk with him about yesterday. And he's walking around in spaceships, but he's being left to remember a lot of it. Okay, they can take that out of your mind. They can give you a very vague feeling of it. They can do that with these frequencies. Remember, these people fly around. They don't need new tires. They actually fly around from galaxy to galaxy. Okay, these people get around. Their technology is incredible. 1:22. I was just, part of me pushed myself to look at the time. I'm like, what's that about? And it's very relative to what we're talking about right now. 2-2 is the double elders, the strong understanding of the elders knowing understanding of oneself, and also number 2 is harmony and coming together of the one body, which is all of us, is family. Those of you that have this source energy inside you, they read this from space. The NSA can read it. They know who you are. They wander around. A lot of them are watching you, and it's not for any type of malice whatsoever. Try to understand this. The NSA think they're smart. They have all these little tools. They've had a lot of help from ETs. we have new people in charge, the people that freed us, and their strongest part is the drug. The NSA are aware of who's in control. Where the end control comes from, it comes from the drug. They're not going to, they wouldn't even, as arrogant as most of those bastards are, they would never do anything to piss off the drug. Very few of them are that stupid. A lot of them are watching you, waiting to see what happens, what you do, because they know it's controlled. They know Ara is the one responsible for everything. Ara literally was working with the drug, putting things together, okay? That's all this stuff, these meetings and everything coming out of the body, going to them. They're watching you because they're waiting to see what happens, and they're trying to figure out, as soon as something happens, they want to be the first to make a movement towards that. The Anunnaki no longer run this planet. They're gone. The problematic Anunnaki no longer run this planet. The regular Anunnaki, they've never wanted to. There's so many wonderful, beautiful Anunnaki, you'll find out for yourselves in the future. As a race, they're awesome. Anyway, so they're really trying to watch, to learn, to wait and see what happens. They follow people around all the time. As a matter of fact, I think Frank Zoo was talking about that. About them seeing you and everything and watching. They don't know. Their bosses have just been taken out, so they're free floating in the air. They're trying not to do much of anything other than gather information. They want to be able to be the first to react to what's changing, because they're going to be on board with whatever's going on. It's either that or they'll be eliminated, and they know. There's always a few that think they'll be smarter and be able to get away with something. No, they won't. Not for a second. Soon they won't be allowed from the other side anyway. Even though they're not available, also, side note here, even though they're not available yet, they will be after I get out of this body and Dana gets me cremated and get some time to relax. We have a lot of new necklaces that I've brought out. The smaller individual videos on it will be on the Spiritual Foundation YouTube channel. There's a lot of new stones that are agates and jaspers are very similar. They're mostly jasper, but some of them have agate tendencies. This is one right here. This is called Vision Field Jasper. Look at that. I think you can see the different colors pretty well. Let me see if I can enhance that for a minute. I'm going to explain the reason here in just a second. All right, I don't know if that helps you any. Actually see the different colors in it. Imagine trying to take this and then look through pictures and figure out which one it is. There's all kinds of different colors in this stuff. That's just one energy in there. The top bead is 6 millimeter, and then the bottom ones are the rest of them. The 5 of them going down are 8 millimeter. It all has to be done by energy, and the reason why this is all being brought to my attention now, is because other than dealing with some stupid people that don't know better and just a few idiots on the other side, this is all about the other side. Other than dealing with them, I'm not having a fight like I used to. So that much is done. I'm more calmed down. It's easy. It's easier for the little light thing. That's part of me saying something which is kind of stupid. But anyway, whatever. The also, because I'm so much out of my body now, that I'm able to see more. Because it's like you're. If you were sitting in a car and it was just parked, and you're looking at through the windshield, it was dirty. It's like all of a sudden you could reach your head through the windshield and see out, or stick your head out the window and see how much easier it is to see. It's like that. But you have to know these stones by their frequency. And there's the vision field jasper, which takes that vision field that's right behind the skull, that the pineal vision goes right up against and kind of goes into about maybe just under half of the pituitary vision field. The pituitary field, where you see the screen, about almost half of that goes into that, but the actual vision field. This vision field, it's related to the pituitary gland. Okay. The pituitary gland has a energy field that it's like a helmet. If you've ever seen an older motorcycle helmet or ice hockey helmet, and then had the top cut out, that's basically what the pituitary energy field looks like. But there's this other energy field that comes off. It's created by the pituitary, plus the brain itself has a little bit to do with it. But it's basically another, like a heart extension coming out of the pituitary field, out of the pituitary gland. And it strives to get high definition clarity and everything. Other energy fields blend into it. The scanner goes through it at the bottom and through the top. You can't say that the pituitary gland creates it. That it's just a part of it. That it's only created by the pituitary gland. It's created by the whole brain, pituitary gland and above. Anyway, it is its own entity. These different stones. There's the pituitary. There's the vision field. Stone energy. There's pituitary gland stone energy. I've always said picture jasper is one of them, but there's another one that's made just for it to make it bulkier, stronger, bigger. And then there's an energy conduit that goes from the pituitary gland to the vision field. There's a different stone for that. There's a stone for the to enhance the conduit that goes from the pituitary gland to the scanner, from the vision field to all these things. That's where there's all these new stones. Actually, what they are. All right. You have the picture jasper we just talked about. Its own feeds the regular pituitary field. Then there's the pituitary gland. That's the pit jasper stone. Then there's the pituitary division field jasper. That's the pituitary gland to the vision field. Then there's the hypo vision field jasper, which connects the conduit. It strengthens the conduit between the hypothalamus and then the vision field. And the hypothalamus connects to everything. And then, the pit scanner field, the pit scanner conduit, which we have a pit scanner jasper for it. And I did just see another, a new form of jasper, which actually connects the pituitary and the, was it the pituitary and the scanner, or the vision field and the scanner? It was the pituitary gland and the scanner. They're strong enough, and they're all connected with the pituitary gland, that you have to be careful. If you want to maximize and get the effect that you want, you have to put those different amounts of energy going through all these different conduits into these different glands, and to that field, and their relationship to that field. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Sometimes someone might think, oh, he was holding out the best to last just to sell the others. It's whatever. No. I've always done the most I could. There's things I've known I know wasn't time to release yet. I had to walk before I could run too. And there's people out there that are awake, and there's a hell of a lot more people. 96% of our population is just like unaware. 95 point whatever, 95.7 or 8 or something. 95.7% of our population is just totally not awake, don't even understand it or know the need for it. So that's one nice thing about the consults, because I could talk to everyone. I could talk to people individually instead of having to talk to everyone. The talking on the video's good because I get to reach out to more people. But when you do it personally, it's much easier for me to use my ability to pinpoint things. Now, in these necklaces that Deanna will be making, I started and didn't finish it, I don't believe. I got to slow down. I'm going to have some heart issues here in a minute. Sometimes when I show you these different videos of the necklaces later, different, that's a different video. I'll do one of all of them together, kind of blended together on this channel. But if you want to see the individual ones for the stone, you just go to the website, thespiritualfoundation.com, or go to the Spiritual Foundation YouTube channel. And when you go to the website and click on the video for that necklace, you get a better understanding. It's more thorough of the different stones, why and how it does what it does, and it helps it make it easier for you to decide if that's what you need or not. And like I've always said, you look at the different ones and hold, different stones when they're held up. Look at them, or they won't be held up in this video. There'll be a picture of them against stones, so you look at it, and then you look at another one. Then see which one you like more. So see where you pull to, and then if you look at the stone, what's in it, then you can figure out why. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. I can't promise it, but I'm going to try to at least get a listing together of all the different stones and their basic energies, what they do. Now, different stones are going to feel, we have more ET stuff coming up here in a minute. Different stones, each stone is going to have a slightly different effect with different people, because you are the sum of your frequencies. That's who you are. Well, that in the body that you drive in has a direct effect on which of your abilities can come through your body the easiest. You might be very evenly balanced as far as energy. That's a tendency. But if your body's made to where the pineal and the heart can't move as much energy as your solar plexus, then where you're going to be strongest at life? In the solar plexus. Okay? I've had lives, one of them where I was a math whiz, numerology, and I was solar plexus. I had heart, I had pineal, but I was mostly solar plexus. Anyway, and in some of these necklaces, you might see a bead 1 minute or a chip 1 minute and change from bead to chip. The energy's in it. It's just sometimes something's only available through chip, and can't go with the bead. But the proper, I haven't had anything to drink, but I'm thinking maybe a glass of wine won't be too bad soon. Deanna's laughing. The mass of the specific energy the mass necessary of the specific stone that has the frequency we need to produce the desired effect is what's going to go in there. These are well put together. You do not have to be, again, you do not have to be sourced to do this. And again, remember, all the people I've cranked up, all the people that have source in them, they're no longer soul. They are no longer soul. They started their existence as soul, but they no longer are. So I mean, it's a soul hybrid. I don't know what name would go for that, but I stay away from names as much as possible. With stones, you got to do something. Sometimes this stone that has azurite, lapis, and malachite in it. Deanna and I call it almite. ALM, azurite, lapis, and malachite. Anyway, and one last thing about the stones. We're getting back to the ET thing here. I got more to talk about. The stones we have on the website here. This is some of the new lapis, the last lapis we've gotten. We've had it for a little bit here. And again, all the stuff will be available on the website. See, look at this stone. You can see it's got some nice blue in it. This is how we sell them, like this. Okay, you might look at that and say, man, you're kidding me. And you want how much for that? All the stones are cranked up with my energy and Deanna's energy too. My energy is the strongest source anywhere. So whatever. No big deal, but it is. It's stronger. You get more out of the stone, and plus more of the stone energy. Here's some of what it looks like. It's still dirty, but it's got water on it. You can see some of that deep blue lapis in there. If you wash it off really good, you'll see more of it. Here, let me. There, that's cleaned off a little bit of it there. Okay. Our lapis, almost every single piece we have comes from Afghanistan. However, there's been a couple places, India is one of them, my old stomping grounds in my last life, that have some really nice lapis that have more of the gray in it, with more of the pyrite. You hold that stuff with your fingertips, you can feel it go right into into the pineal. Very strong. So, all right, now back to the ET stuff. Uno momento. Okay. I've talked before that the ETs are friends from other planets. These are old races, okay? We are the children in the sandbox. There's nothing wrong with that. They were there too one time. They are trying to help. Those that are over 98% of all the starships flying around are here to help us. Any of the others that are not, if they would even show up in our atmosphere, they literally, immediately, I don't want to say are attacked, but they're aggressively met with a strong policing force. They will leave, or they will be destroyed. Period. That's the kind of protection we have now. That's why I said this stuff worrying about the NSA, folks, that stuff's all but over. There's still some idiots in there, and a lot of them are about to drop dead. See ya. FBI, CIA, and the rest of them. So I'll be driving in a car, maybe hopefully in their driveway, and then poof, drop dead at the wheel. It's time. It's cleanup time. So you have some very nasty, negatively minded, abusive, arrogant people in the NSA. We know that. But most of them are intelligent, and they know that, when you work for a big company, somebody comes in and just puts an axe to the head of the little graphic I know of your boss, of the main boss for the whole company, and then they look at you. Well, if you want to work that job, you'll be staying there. Of course, that axe in the head, that was actually something that happened that I was involved in Roman times. I was a slave and fought in the Colosseum. Seems like every life I have, I'm organizing things. Well, I organize a revolt. So, and that's been coming to my head lately. That and the Gandhi thing. Anyway, the ET thing. They're going to be communicating with the governments, but they're going to be communicating with us personally. And those of you that have been cranked up, I've mentioned before, but I'm going to tell you a little stronger now. You're getting company. Get ready for it. They're watching you. If you're laying back doing nothing, if it's not known you have a big role to play, you won't get as much attention as the others, but you're still getting attention. So, and they will come in and out of the house, run around. They have energy fields from the ships that come down from the ship right into the house. I can't explain how it works. Okay, that's not my thing. I can do what other people can, but I can't do that. So what? We're all equal. So from the ship down to you down here, the ship puts out a beam. It's got a special room, and when you're in that room, you're also walking around down here, and you can increase your density down in the ground. That's how there can be no room around your bed, and they can be walking around the bed because they're interdimensional. They go through the material, and then they can actually stiffen up their hand and touch your body. So they do it in the house here all the time. They did it a lot for a while because they were starting to do it, and we weren't commenting about it. Deanna and I weren't commenting about it that much. So they started doing it more, and a couple times too much. I actually bumped right into Sereni. She's Sepoian, about 6 foot tall. Anyway, so a lot of them are paying attention to your head. That's why your head is feeling the way it does. But that's also me on the inside of you, making you stronger. I'm changing your brain. I'm changing your brain so all that energy that I put in you, so it all works together better, faster, stronger. So I know we have one person out there in particular, maybe a couple that, oh, this stuff gives you migraines. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's, this one, woman doing this stuff, she's got issues. I've done what I could to help her. So, and that's all you can do. You do what you can, and that's it. You got to let it go. So, anyway, I don't do them anymore. So if you got it, great. If you got a crank up from anyone, that'll help. But when it's got my energy in it, that's a big passport to things that are coming. Okay. There's other folks here doing it too that have done it, whatever, that is strong. So Deanna's doing the DNA ICUC, though she was. People feel that. Siobhan out in Ireland, she's very strong. Raj down in New Zealand hasn't come out yet. He's incredibly strong too. I mean, these people are powerful. And there's other people. So I'm not going to mention everyone's name, and a lot of people that are doing this, I'm not going to say their names. They're confused as hell, and they're being screwed with. So I've had a lot of people ask, Deanna kind of gives it to me. He says, this is your area. What do you want to do? People say, who can you send me to for a crank up, seeing how you and Deanna don't do it anymore, or I don't do it anymore and Deanna doesn't do it now? And I said, honestly, no one. Because everyone's getting messed with. I don't care who you are. When you're in a body, you get screwed with. Now, there's not as much of that going on now. It doesn't mean you can't get a good one from those people, but I'm putting my name on the line. So, I know some people who are about to do some good work, but not now. I got to get home first, and these other idiots have to be taken out, and they will be. They'll either be taken out of the area or they'll be taken out, period. But those of you that are getting your head worked on, there's a reason for that in this upcoming events. These RET brethren, fellows, friends, family, they're going to be dealing with the government. So they're going to be dealing with you too, personally. Our government is not going to tell them that they can't talk to us. If they do, they'll either be ignored, look at them like, what? Or they'll just, ignore them. Like they didn't say anything because they said nothing that holds any value to them. It doesn't. Our governments are not in charge. Never really have been, except for when they were just formed a long time ago. So, that never lasted long. As soon as the governments changed, the old aggressive Anunnaki, 7 ruling clans, would get involved. And just get involved in the new government, take it over. Stonewall Jackson for the United States government. He was Anunnaki as hell. $20 bill. Anyway, so I wanted to tell you about the crank up and the fact that people are going to do it. That's important for you to know because that does bring their attention right away. And Deanna has stuff to do off planet. A few years from now, Deanna will be leaving the planet. And except for an occasional visit back home, she won't be coming home. She'll be flying around. She's got a lot of stuff to do. I mentioned Jonathan before. Jonathan Rich, he's going to be involved doing a lot of stuff. A lot of you are with business. So you're going to start having more quote-unquote waking dreams where you're walking around on a starship. And it'll be softened, a little fuzzy here and there, but it's going to be true. You might be wide awake when you're doing this, and then when you go to leave, they'll dim it out. So everything's happening. 100 years from now, there'll be a solid 100 people who are source here cranking people up. So, and then everyone has to be made a little bit stronger when they get out of the body, but right now it's different. If you're in body, you want to get stronger, just take your time, relax, wake up, get a sphere. These spheres you put next to your bed when you're sleeping. As long as they have star resonate and source energy inside, they'll reach you. Like some of these last spheres, I put so much energy into it, you can feel it like 20, 25 feet away. If you're sensitive, some people can't feel it at all yet. They will, they're not awake. When you close your mind off to the fact that a stone can't have energy, then unless it's really important, you feel it, then those beings whose energies inside that stone, when I say being, star, being male, universal essence, or planets being female, universal essence, they won't go in your body. If it needs to happen, there's a piece of me on the other side saying, screw you. You got a job to do. I know that sounds nasty and mean and arrogant. It's not meant like that. It's just, And when you start doing this, you'll love it. It's going to change your life, make it better than you ever could have thought possible. That's what's about to happen with a lot of you. And these ETs, when they come into the house, you'll start, having little dreams and stuff, and then all of a sudden you see something move, but it won't be like one of the little dots. It'll be something a little bigger, and then you'll start seeing them better during the day, and then you'll be seeing them even better at night while you're sleeping first, and then you will be walking around on a ship. It'll take anywhere from 1 to 4 years. It's going to happen. So don't mind that feeling you get in your head. And these latest spheres, the max metavision, max multi-dimensional vision for seeing multi-dimensionally, and that's what helps you see them when they phase in and out, go through the hang around interdimensionally. That's when, like this right here is picture. This is the vision field, jasper, all these different stones, all these different colors. This is one stone, one type of stone. But you can't just go by picture. That's why I put these different ones on there. These are all from the same batch and everything else, and you need to be able to see that intricately, so it's hard to do. On the products, on the spheres, I'll say this jasper or that kind of jasper, or that whatever stone. I explain the function of it. Whether it's the pituitary jasper that cranks up the pituitary gland, pit jasper, pit vision field jasper that connects the conduit between the pituitary gland, I was going to say valve again, and the vision field. See, I told you about the vision field jasper itself, and then a hypovision field jasper is the conduit between the hypothalamus valve and the vision field itself. Plus, it does go into both the hypothalamus gland and the vision field. Then the pit scanner. There's pit scanner jasper that connects the energy conduit between the pituitary gland and the pit and the scanner. Anyway, there's no way to tell you how to find that, because if you can't feel it, with all the names and stuff that are in different stones, you don't know. So I can't help with that, but I can help make the product to help you. And remember, the pituitary gland is all about putting high definition and clarity into everything you're seeing. And then when this vision field is made to help you see things originally. So when you crank up these two areas plus all the conduits, that's why that max metavision sphere is so powerful. It even cranks up the conduit, so that's important. Like I said, you don't have to have any of these things to wake up and get going. You want to get the strongest, be the most you can be. You want to hurry up and do it quick. The most powerful thing is a crank up from source. The second most powerful thing is one of our spheres. Nice thing about the necklace is that it goes around your neck. It goes around your core. Excuse me. Spirit core strengthening necklace. What do we name it? What its function is? When you put this on, it goes all around your core. It's got fuscite and zoisite, or zoisite with ruby. It's got garnet in there, really beautiful garnet, AAA garnet, dragonstone jasper. This stuff is awesome. Anyway, those of you that are feeling that pressure, don't worry about it. Yeah, what I was saying with the stone, the necklace, when it goes around your spirit core itself, is feeding it's evenly feeding the stone energy into you. But this thing with ETs, folks, that's about to happen. For years, I told you about the a couple of years, few years. I was telling you about fighting going on with the FEMA bases down in up in Alaska, north of just barely northwest of Kodiak Island. And that there were FEMA bases down there, and Ara came out and popped out of the body one night. I was along for the ride consciously and then watched it, and destroyed from the 19th level down. Crushed it. And then that very next day there was reports of an earthquake. It was at the end of one year, the beginning of the other, or something. I can't remember. And it's not that I don't care at all. It's just doesn't. It's not that important. The fact is that it did happen, and then all of a sudden you heard about it. I talked about the fighting that was going on between the Anunnaki around that area, the problematic Anunnaki that were here, and then the good Anunnaki that were here from the home world, plus the Drakh, some Neantids. Selected fighting going on down there, but it was getting serious. And then a little while later, it's less than a month later or something like that, you start all of a sudden hearing about these small, well, decent sized, but still small registered earthquakes out in that area. Sometimes people want someone to actually have a photograph to show, otherwise they won't believe it. Well, that's cool. They're too afraid of someone saying, you were wrong about something, even though you couldn't see it and you did the best you could. You were wrong, so you suck. We can't ever trust you again. You made a mistake. People like that suck so bad, it's unreal. Oh, I can tear any one of them apart. Just go into their life, just using my abilities and tell them about shit they've done that they were dead wrong. So you reported about this, but yeah, you were wrong. So apparently you're not a reporter. What are you, a baker? A painter? I'll bet you're not that either, because I bet you suck at that. I bet you made a mistake there too. You make a mistake, you suck. I mean, that's their attitude. They suck, okay? Don't ever let people give you that. So just tell them the best mathematician that there's ever been either hit clear or use an eraser. The best race car drivers there are the ones that have wrecked a hell of a lot. And every artist is painted over something. When we do something that's not that we don't feel is to the best of our abilities, or we learn a better way to do, we've made a stepping stone to get to a better point. So when you feel that pressure, don't worry about it. You're not being attacked. If you feel like there's someone that's got a drill bit that's going in your head, you're being attacked. In your own mind, scream attack and put an energy field up and think silver. Okay, and say help. Just in your mind. Don't say it out loud. In your mind, just say help. Damn it. And you'll get help. But other than that, man, y'all getting a lot of attention. It's getting ready to go. Things are about to happen. And those of you that have that energy in you, they're watching you to help. I mean, to make you part of what's coming. I'm not a ride at an amusement park. I'm here for the job. Very specific things. So you don't have to have faith in what I just told you about you getting visitation and everything. All you got to do is relax and feel and look around you. You'll see them in and out of the house. So sometimes in the middle of the night they knock stuff over. They make their bodies solid enough to where they can actually grab something and move it, and then boom. Some people's animals wake up barking in the middle of the night, run into the kitchen. A lot of Sapoians have this thing about spices. They go nuts in the kitchen playing with the spices. The Fae kind of weird about that too. Anyway, folks, look, love you. I'm starting to fade out and getting dizzy as hell. You feel that thickness, and doesn't feel like there's a spear stuck in your head. Don't worry about it. If you feel it, just say, "Hey, damn it!" Think outwards into the field and say, "Fucking, say, protect me, would you, damn it?" And think about putting a silver shield around your body. Make a shell like this of energy and put it inside, go like this and extend it outside of your body with thought of getting rid of everything in that shell and only having you inside there. As you think the thought about help, like the field help, and then you try to build a silver shield, that's two different ways. At the same time, you're telling the other side, source, you need help. And so... And I guess that's that. Well, folks, don't your head's getting messed with where you're getting dizzy and stronger and feeling funny, a lot of feeling like fever and stuff. You're being enhanced. You're not being attacked. Number one. Number two, the NSA, except for a few idiots, they're not attacking anyone. They are looking around closely, following a lot of people. They want to literally know what's going to happen as far as the new control over what goes on around here. Who's the new boss to run the earth? They want to know that. They want to know it before anyone. They want to get to that person or persons first. They want to know they want to react first to it. So... they're information gathering, okay? No one's going to get locked up. So, folks, I love you, man. Have a good one.